sometimes when you're in love or in a relationship with someone, and it can be your friend or it can be like your girlfriend, your wife, and it gets to a point that either because of you or the other person, the relationship has become so toxic and unhealthy that there is no way of going forward, right? And then you're just questioning that, is it time to just let go and start fresh and start a new journey? And in my life, I've had like two relationships, and one of them was in high school, so it was super short. So he wasn't really 2 months. It was, and I saw I was a child, so I wasn't really much going on with that relationship. It was like 2 months, super short. The second one, however, it was my first actual real relationship, and it was about 6 months. It was like a long distance relationship that it was kind of going back and forth, and it was like a couple hours. Like she was living 5-6 hours like in away from my city, and we were seeing each other like once or twice every month on average. And during this relationship, I truly learned a lot of things about myself, my weaknesses, the things I need to be improved on, and also why breaking your principles and why letting go of your principles can be your biggest downfall, right? And I'm personally huge on self accountability and responsibility. And when the relationship gets toxic, a lot of the times you have to look at yourself. There is no point of blaming the other person. You have to always look at yourself and your decisions, right? So for me personally, the reason that relationship kind of became toxic was just that in the beginning phases of our relationship, there was some dishonesty and trust issues, and there were some lies. And I just from the beginning I closed my eyes to it. What am I saying? Closed my eyes to it, and I thought it's okay. I thought it's not a big deal. It wasn't like a huge lie, and this was like a stupid mistake that I made. And in hindsight, it's a lesson that you must be learning, right? Like there's no point of blaming the other person. You have to always look at yourself. And the reason a relationship becomes toxic, especially 99% of the times, even if it's her fault, it's your, like, just take responsibility. It's better because you're gonna see your mistakes. Because a lot of times when you shift blame, you're like, oh, I didn't make any mistake. But even if it's her mistake, or like, let's just say if you're a girl, if it's his mistake, take responsibility. It's better to take responsibility and actually look at your moves and see what you did wrong. And a lot of the times you made a lot of mistakes that you weren't even aware of, right? So when you close your eyes to like someone being dishonest with you and lying in the initial parts of the relationship, and you close your eyes to just because you love the girl, or you feel like she's attractive, or you feel like something is about to be going on in the future, it's going to lead you to your downfall. And those small things, those small doubts later on is going to grow and grow and grow. And by the time the end of the relationship is there, it's going to be like, wow, like this is crazy. And the dishonesty of the other person is going to make you think about so many other ideas. And it's going to lead to actions from you that's going to cause the destruction of the relationship as well. So you have to be always observant and honest with yourself. Say like, okay, I have these principles, and if she breaks these principles, I don't want to continue, because there's no point. Because you cannot like constantly change people. It's just you gotta accept, and there is no blaming other people. You have to take responsibility. And for me, when someone lies to me, I just cannot I just cannot trust that person again. And this applies with business, relationships, and you have to learn to understand that it's okay. You make a mistake, the other person makes a mistake, and you sometimes have to walk away. You have to make that decision to leave the relationship, and it's nothing necessarily personal, but you have to make the best decision for yourself. Because if you do choose to stick to the relationship, the toxic feelings is going to grow and grow and grow. You're going to hurt the other person is going to hurt you. It's just going to be like a messy, shitty situation. So my takeaway is that you just gotta leave, man. So in that previous relationship, I left at like 6 months. Initially, she broke up with me because I was like kind of like telling her like my thoughts and how I was feeling about the situation, and like her being dishonest. But in hindsight, again, it was my mistake, because you have to, as a man, analyze that, like, listen, this person lied, this person being shady, so you have to make that decision, say, listen, it's okay, it's time to move on, right? But it was like my first relationship. I was in my feelings. And I was like, when like she broke up with me, I was like, oh my god, like let's meet or whatever. Like I decided to like kind of stick to her again. Like I was like, let's meet up. I went to meet up like to her city or whatever, and then when you meet again and stuff, stuff happens, and then like the emotions grow again, right? And then during that time, like even before that, I broke up once too, but I was super inconsistent with my decisions. I was undecisive and I just didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was very immature. I was just like going all over the place. I was super like scared of letting go. And it slows you down. It slows you down from the performance in your life and other aspects of your life. And you have to realize that, bro, you have to decide and you have to let go. It's going to hurt, but it's going to be best. Like in the two relationships that I went through, I don't regret any of them. I don't want to go back also. But it teaches you a lot of stuff. You also learn a lot of good memory. Like you have a lot of memories. And listen, it's not a bad thing. It's a lovely experience. Don't have any negative feelings towards the other person. It is what it is. You keep it pushing, right? But you have to be able to walk away at those times when it calls you for you. Like you have to like, listen, this relationship is becoming more toxic, so you just gotta leave. I'm not saying be like super like easy to give up on it. Just like, if something goes wrong, just give up on the relationship quickly. But like at sometimes you have to be like, listen, this is getting out of hand. It's best for me to leave, right? And always take responsibility. So the best takeaway that I can say is that no matter what happens in the relationship, especially if you're a man, it's always your fault. It's always your responsibility to understand that, listen, whatever that is happening, it's your duty to analyze the situation. It's your duty to be logical and not be emotional and make the best decision for you and also for her. Because sometimes, even if she finds a better partner, listen, she made the best decision for herself. She thinks that the other guy is better suit for her. And listen, if that benefits her, so be it. You move on, you let go, you let her be, and you let her be happy. And there is no like grudges, there is no bad feelings or hatred. You just gotta let her be, move on with your life, and go ghost mode. You don't have to text her, block her, or remove her phone number, stuff like that. Don't respond to her messages. Just live your life. It's gonna hurt in the beginning, but maybe the first 1 or 2 months. But life moves, man. Life moves. People come and go, and everything is temporary. So you have to learn to let go of certain things at certain times. And toxic relationships can be to your detriment if you constantly stick to it. So the moment you think, you feel, and you understand properly, like for sure that this relationship, there is no saving to it, and it's like holding you and the other person back, you just gotta let it go, man. So I encourage you to have the courage and to believe and have the faith to make that decision and to move towards to a different journey in your life and let go of toxic relationships and the unhealthy relationships. So that's my message, man. Sometimes you have to walk away from that unhealthy relationships, even if you don't feel like it. But you have to make that decision. It is what it is. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you resonated with this, my message. So if you have something that you want to comment on, if you have questions, let me know in the comments. I'm always down to chat with you guys. I do have a community on Discord. We talk about self-development, fitness, nutrition, growing and becoming to our best selves. So feel free to join. I'm going to put the link in the description and also in the comments. And I want to see you there. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.